Tonight, Piqua's Hall of Fame coach Bill Nees hopes to add to the legacy as a win positions the Indians for the playoffs. Troy can lock up their fourth straight divisional championship and secure a postseason home game. Pride and a lot more riding on the most played rivalry game in Ohio football. Piqua, Troy, next on Spectrum News 1. Stadium for one of the most storied rivalries in Ohio. It's the Piqua Indians at 5-4 and 5-2 in the Miami Valley League against the Troy Trojans, who stand 7-2 and 6-1 in the league. This is the 135th renewal of this great rivalry, and it's the most played rivalry in the entire state of Ohio. Tim Bray alongside Greg Fry, and I'll tell you what, these guys must be beaming about playing in such a storied game.
I think they're ready to go. I mean, there's a lot on stake here tonight. You got the league championship at stake. You got getting to the playoffs at stake, plus the rivalry. A lot going on. It's week 10. That's why we're here.
Hey, let's get it back to 2019, and these two teams are playing for a lot tonight. A win by Piqua, they qualify for the playoffs. In addition, they could earn a share of the Miami Valley League divisional title, and they would share it with Troy. And I'll tell you what, they got a lot of momentum on their side after winning last week against Tippecanoe.
Well, winning last week was big. Very close game, but I think that gave them some confidence coming in here, knowing that they can go on the road and get it done and get focused and run the football and win a huge game tonight.
Their offense has a plethora of talented running backs, and our star to watch is junior Karan Coleman.
Yeah, Karan Coleman doing a great job. 12 touchdowns on the year, averaging nearly 7 yards per carry. And oh, by the way, he's got a big offensive line, especially that right side tonight that he's running behind. So you'll see other guys run the football, but he's the guy carrying the load.
Troy, on the other hand, they have stopped their 5-game winning streak last week. It was snapped by Xenia on the last second field goal, and the Trojans, like Piqua, expect to run the football. They've rushed for over 220 yards per game, and they start up front too.
They do. They do a great job up front. They're strong up front on both sides of the ball, and they run the football well. And they play great defense. They're playing great defense in the league, and I think if they win tonight, that's probably going to be the common denominator to win it.
And running the offense is the Trojan dual threat quarterback in Brandon Seiler.
Yeah, he's accounted for 19 touchdowns, 9 on the ground, 10 through the air. They love to run the football, but oh, by the way, he can throw it pretty good.
The stakes are high. A share of the league championship on the line. Region 7 playoff spots, and above all, bragging rights in the battle on the Miami. Piqua, Troy, coming up right after the break.
Weather in Ohio is changing all the time.
We get winter one day and 60s the next.
At Spectrum News 1, our goal is refreshingly simple.
We bring you an accurate, reliable, and local forecast every 10 minutes.
We have an incredible, experienced team of people.
We don't just know about the weather, we know about Ohio.
You never have to wait for your forecast with your Weather on the Ones.
Weather on the Ones, every 10 minutes, exclusively on Spectrum. Sunday mornings, take an in-depth look at your community. In Focus with Mike Kallmeyer, a half-hour show dedicated to the important issues, driven to bring decision makers together, and committed to elevating discussion and debate. Your community, your state, your show. In Focus with Mike Kallmeyer, Sunday mornings at 10:30 on Spectrum News 1, exclusively on Spectrum.
Maybe I'll run for president, maybe I won't, but I will tell you that I'm not going to go away.
And I don't think Michigan can become the Michigan of old.
We're probably the first professional sports team in the world that was built by the fans.
We're the biggest ice cream shipper in the nation, setting the standard for American ice cream.
I get to live my dream. I mean, what more could I ask for?
Conversations, Sunday and Tuesday night at 9 on Spectrum News 1, exclusively on Spectrum.
It doesn't feel like a job to me. Journalism is my passion. I started out as an actress and singer, which is the typical way to get into broadcasting. Whether it's journalism, singing, acting, writing, it's all about storytelling. I guess I felt fell in love with news because it's the real story of us. It's the real story of community. I'm Mary Lee Melendez, anchor reporter, Spectrum News 1.
The OHSAA Game of the Week on Spectrum News 1 is brought to you by Elk & Elk, serious lawyers for serious injuries. Week 10 of the high school football season here at Troy Memorial Stadium in Troy, Ohio. We're right downtown, beautiful facility, and it's 42 degrees. It's football weather. 5-mile-an-hour winds, a little different than last night. But this is one of the most storied historical rivalries in high school football. And it's close. Troy's won the last three, 65, 63, and 6. And last year, it came down to a fourth-quarter touchdown pass by Braden Seiler, who's the starting quarterback tonight. It's the 135th meeting between these two schools. Troy won the toss. They deferred to the second half, so we'll have Piqua on offense first here. And this is what it's all about. It's football weather.
It's football weather. It's Week 10. League implications, playoff implications, rivalry. Last year's game came down to 1 point, literally. We got a good one on our hands.
Tanner Kemp will be back deep to receive the opening kickoff of tonight's game. Braden Seiler has it teed up, and we are underway in the 135th renewal of this great and storied rivalry, and Kemp's got an opening. He's out to the 30 and gets powered to the turf, and what a tackle right there. But Kemp holds on to the football, and we will see Piqua for the first time on offense. Blaine Ull is their quarterback. He is a junior, 6'3", 187 pounds, and he is a guy that will be operating this offense. He's in control. 325 yards this year, just 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, but they love to run the football, and we'll see it starting from the 31-yard line. 1st and 10, split backs, and we get a whistle right away. First play from scrimmage, and we got an offsides against
on the defense, number 5. Remains first down.
So that moves the ball to the 36-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 5. That is the voice of Bob Giuliano, who is the referee for tonight's game. No score, just getting started here at Troy. They'll come back out in split backs once again. All the quarterback, and they are bunch in the middle. 6 inside, and there's not much room to run at all, as that big offensive line could not move the defense of the Troy Trojans. Let's take a look at the offensive backs and receivers and that offensive line. Just actually 2 seniors, and then Billy Dobbins as well. McKeegan Kuhn in the backfield along with Karan Coleman. And then you see the wide receivers, and Austin Burns is the tight end. A lot of youth on this Indians team. 2nd down, call it just a couple. And they will hand it off inside, and there's a little bit of running room, not a lot, but enough. But actually, there was a loss of yardage by that big defensive line, and there are 2 seniors on the end, 2 juniors in the middle. There's your linebackers, and J.J. McCoy, only a sophomore. Evan Jones is the sophomore that is the leading tackler. 2 seniors in the secondary for the Trojans, but I got fooled on that play. The quarterback just had no place to go.
Dawson Hildebrand made the stop there, 6'3", 332 from his tackle position. Stuffed Jarrell Lewis, who goes 252.
He's in the backfield on the right-hand side, and they will they will hold on to it, and the ball is loose, and
ball's on the ground.
And did he get out of there with the ball at all? But it is going to be, looks like it will stay with Piqua, but they're going to have to punt it away. 4th down. There was nothing inside at all. So the Indians try to run 3 plays in the middle. They got a little bit of help from an encroachment, but after that, they didn't have much success at all here in the first series. So it will be Burns
the punter, as you look at Bill Nees, 27 years, and won his 200th game last week.
That's a big deal. 200 games, that is some rare air.
And a Hall of Fame coach who was just voted in, and we get another penalty.
Dead ball, delay game, 5-yard penalty, means 4th down.
So I move it back 5 yards. Bill is old school. He was very intense out on the field, that is for sure. Tucker Risquet is back deep to receive this punt. Burns will kick it away, and it will be high, and they'll get away from it as it will be outside the 30, and now we'll drop to the 25-yard line. So that's where Troy will put it in play. 1st and 10. The Troy Trojans, who are 7-2, 6-1 in the reborn Miami Valley League, and they will be led by Braden Seiler, the 6'1", 203-pound senior quarterback. He's a dual threat. This guy's got 1,745 total yards from scrimmage this year, 19 total touchdowns, as you see his passing numbers. And he'll throw it right away, and knee is down as Nicholas Barr makes the catch on the play out to the 31. Gain of 6, and we'll take a look at the offensive line of the Trojans. And your backs and receivers as well. Tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Elk & Elk, serious lawyers for serious injuries. Here's a second throw to Barr, and he's got the first down. And he crosses the 35 to about the 38-yard line, a gain of 7. Now we'll take a look at those defensive line members of the Indians. 2 juniors, a senior and a sophomore. Caleb Lyons across the front. It's an even front. Kuhn and Lawson on the left side. Strayer, Meyer, and Shrub are your secondary members for the Indians, who have given up a first down. It's 1st and 10 for Troy at their own 38, and they'll throw it again. Little bubble screen this time, and they got running room out to about midfield. Good effort right there by A.J. Hewler, who took that little bubble screen.
They've thrown 3 short passes so far, 2 hitches to the left, and they hit Huker to the right with the quick bubble, and they get 9.
9
and a half,
maybe 10. Let's see, because the officials are going to measure here. Troy can throw it. They can run it. They are the second best offense in the league. Xenia better, and it's short by about a half a length of the football.
Well, I like this style, throwing to set up the run. Spreading them out, throwing a lot of short passes. You give your quarterback confidence. And ultimately what they want to do is run the football. But when you've got soft corners and you got receivers outside, it's easy pitch and catch.
Seiler's had all kinds of time when you think about it. That line that Coach Nees is looking at with his defense, 261, 320, 254, 318, 332. I know a couple of D2s would like to have that.
They're big.
There's Dan Gress, line coach, then the special teams coach, Kent State grad, and played at Northmont. So he remembered Zach Dicer chewing him up in a Miami-Kent game once. But they were good. I mean, you never wanted to go to Kent State with the teams that he was on. 8:13 to play, no score.
Well, Braden Seiler set the tone tonight. Kicked the opening kickoff, and not only made the tackle, he made the tackle. Like he lowered the boom on the Piqua returner, and that's a quarterback doing that. I like that, showing some toughness.
So the officials moved the clock back to 8:22, so they added a few seconds, and second down and short. Everybody in tight, and they'll hand off this time. And getting through there is Kevin Walters. And Walters is a 1,000-yard rusher. We talk about Seiler, but Kevin Walters has gained 1,064 yards this year and has had 11 touchdowns.
Well, as of that play, he and Seiler each have 157 carries on the year. So those are the two guys going to be carrying the football.
48-yard line and a flag. And now we get an encroachment against Piqua. Caleb Lyons in the middle.
On the defense, number 97. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So they'll move it down to the 43-yard line. This is a Troy team that averaged 24 points a game this year. And that's second in the league. So it's Walters on the left side of Seiler, the quarterback, and he's got a personal protector in front of him, Fuentes, and he'll throw near sideline, and it's caught. Caught near side into the double coverage, and a good job by Austin Sanford to hold on to that football. He got popped.
He got popped, but again, Braden Seiler throwing the underneath routes, and I have to assume that that's an RPO where he's got a chance to throw it outside if he wants to. And the corners have been soft so far, so you may see a little more of that.
Meyer with the tackle. It's a first down, and they'll hand off in the middle, and there's Walters, but he is going to be wrapped up as he crossed the 35, a gain of just a couple. Good effort right there by the interior of the line, led by 99, Lance Reeves Hicks.
Boy, he came off the block and just swallowed him up.
He's a big boy. And pretty good feet.
6'1", 286, and he can move a little bit. Absolutely.
Gain of only 2. 7 minutes to go here in the quarter, and this is the best opportunity for Troy as they took the football at their own 25-yard line and marched to the 35. And here's a run right up the middle, and there's Seiler, and he's down to the 22. He got into the second level, and they'll move the chains.
Well, he runs with authority, and this is you got an H-back blocking, you got your tailback blocking, and Seiler running hard downhill, ran into collision with Garrett Shrub, the free safety. Seiler lowered the boom.
13 yards and a first down. Twins to the far sideline, single receiver near side, and that's where Seiler will go, and he's been perfect on the night. And that is Sanford again, his second catch of the night, 15th of the year, and the senior will get it into the red zone.
Well, you're just seeing a cover 3 shell with soft corners on the outside, so you will see a heavy dose of this until the Indians make an adjustment.
They're going to go 2nd and 1, a gain of 8 on the play, actually 9. And here comes the blitz, and they got him. Oh, it's Hudson Hall off the edge, and the 5'11 senior read it and dropped Seiler.
Again, a little hesitation on the RPO. Looks like he wants to get rid of it, and Hudson Hall's on top of him.
Third down play coming up. Good job by the senior to come off the edge, and they were quick. And this is a team that last year didn't give up a lot to this Troy team, under 100 yards rushing. And here is Seiler again coming near sideline, picking his way, and lowers the head and gains inside the 10. They'll mark it about the 8 for a first and goal.
Garrett Shrub coming up again from his free safety position to make the play. But Seiler's, well, he's heavy. He's hard to bring down. He's 203 and running hard. Listen to this.
Very impressive. Walters inside the 5 to the 4, and that's about it. Kevin Walters and Braden Seiler are a 1-2 combination for the Troy Trojans. They've won 7 out of 9, lost only 1 in the league, and that was last week on a last-second field goal to Xenia at Xenia, and that was a shocker. Seiler again, and he hands off to Walters, trying to get the edge, and he won't get there. Lost a couple, back to the 5. Oh, they came up and stormed him. Walters tried to get her away, but they got a flag on the play too, and that's going to nullify that.
Holding on the offense, number 8. 10-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
So move it back.
Josh Mayfield, the guilty party. Right, yeah, you can see it right there for sure. What a great job, though, by Aiden Meyer, the sophomore, coming up in his corner position to make that play. Regardless of the penalty, Meyer made the stop for no gain.
And Mayfield is such a versatile player for Dan Grass, who sees he's a quarterback, he's a wide receiver, he can pretty much do it all on the offensive side of the ball. So now with 4:44 to go here in the first, we've got another whistle and a timeout. Yeah.
Timeout, Troy. That is their first charge timeout of the half.
There was some indecision, so wise move.
Yeah, first timeout by Piqua. All right, at Spectrum News 1, your home for high school sports. Join us every Friday night, including tonight. Beginning at 6:50 for High School Blitz. They had it all for you tonight. And then at 7, we've got this live game like you're watching right now. Each week we've got one in a part of the state, and then the rest of the audience gets a live look in. And then they get all the analysis and the reaction. It's a huge night game, and week 10, it's all high school football all night long. It's right here on Spectrum News 1. Bill Nees, my goodness, Coaches Hall of Fame, and these fans are starting to rock here. Late arriving crowd, but one thing is for sure, they love their football in West Central Ohio, and they love Bill Nees. I figured out that he has had a hand in 20% of all of these games of this rivalry. He's been there 27 years.
Well, he looks pretty young for the mileage that he's undertaken.
Second goal, mark it at the 15-yard line. And they'll look to the sideline for the call. Walters is in the backfield. They'll work out of the gun. Fuentes is the tight end on the right side, and they'll give it to Seiler. Seiler gets to the second level, and he is brought down by Karan Coleman. He's also the tailback on the other side of the ball. Good block by Fuentes, 82.
Good block by Zach Ray, and Fuentes to set him free. That was a nice pickup, but big play here early for Piqua to get a stop here and hold Troy to a field goal would be a big win emotionally on the defensive side. And for Troy, boy, if they can find a way to get points out of this after being backed up with the penalty, that'd be huge.
And into the end zone, it's incomplete. They tried to get Sanford into the end zone on the near sideline. Look at this.
Just trying to throw the backdoor fade just to the outside. It's great coverage there by Aiden Meyer. Sophomore, excellent coverage. That's a timing pass, and he missed it by maybe 3 or 4 inches.
Well schooled is this Piqua team.
Yeah, but let's give credit to the sophomore corner. He's made a couple plays because they went after him. 5'7", 156, soaking wet.
So Seiler is a left-footed kicker, and the senior quarterback is trying the field goal. He's 0 for 2. They'll put it down, and it is outside the upright and no good. So the Indians have held on a long drive by the Troy Trojans. They took it from their own 25-yard line, shoot up most of the first quarter, and they come away empty.
Well, that is a big win emotionally for Piqua. Big. Because the start of that drive looked like Troy was going to go right down the field and score 7 points.
I had them for 12 plays in that drive, and they moved it all the way to the 8-yard line.
That penalty was critical, obviously.
Yeah, the penalty hurt. The holding penalty. And so now the Indians will have it for the second time in the ball game, and they will pitch it out to the near sideline with running room and outside the 30. And that is Tanner Kemp, the sophomore, with a big block and a good hole.
Jarrell Lewis had a pancake block to open that hole. Watch number 8 on the right-hand side of your screen. On the ground. Boom. You can't do it any better.
14-yard pickup, 1st and 10. Clock running at 3:40 of the first, no score. Big stop by the Indian defense. And here's Piqua on offense. Here's Kemp again. And inside, there's nothing there. Kemp was leveled at the 35-yard line, a loss of 1.
Yeah, watch the flop here. Let's see who it is. Oh, that's Seiler. Look at the flop.
He's a gamer.
That's beautiful. That is
love
beautiful.
I love his gamesmanship.
Like he even waited a half second and then he's like, watch this.
Oh, my.
Wow.
Patton goes to the far side of the field. They'll shrub on the near side, but they will go to the middle. And this time they move the pile all the way outside the 40, and we got a flag late. Kemp really tried to push his way, and that whole offensive line helped him usher it out to the 40-some yard line.
Surge.
Yep, out to the 43.
Let's see if they get another 15 on top of this, maybe.
That was 8.
Illegal use of hands to the face on the offense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
So that penalty plus the 8 yards, that's a 23-yard pickup.
He meant on the defense, obviously.
Right. And that moves the football down to the 42-yard line.
See if we can catch it at the end. Oh, yeah, there it is, right there, right-hand side of the screen, number 2.
He wasn't even in the play. It was so obvious.
Rasky, yeah.
Inside handoff, just a dive on the left side, and a little bit of running room for Karan Coleman. Coleman, the 5'9 junior. He and Kuhn and Kemp are the guys that run it the majority of the time, but the Indians have 6 different players that are running backs that they play.
And that's when I looked at the stats for this team, and you could see that. They spread the wealth. The chess match tonight is there's 8 guys in the box defensively. You don't have enough to block all of them. But can you surgically attack that defense? And if anybody can do it, it's Coach Neese.
Another quick hitter, and that was Karan Coleman again, trying to take it over the left side. 3rd down.
And that's not anything fancy. That's just run and dive. You're attacking a certain spot in a defensive line. Picked up a couple there.
Remember last year's chess match went to the 4th quarter.
Yep.
Piqua had a 6-0 lead, and then it was a long touchdown pass of 41 yards that gave Troy the win and the championship. And at that time it was the G-Walk. They'll go left side, and Piqua could not get past the 35-yard line. So they'll continue to unpile. And
it's 4th and 2. I think it was 4th and 1. He might go for it, but it appears he set the punt team out right away.
Yeah, that's Jarrell Lewis. And Lewis certainly can get it done.
I think Coach Neese wants to play the field position game here. He's happy with that.
He needs 11. Last guy coming out quick. Got set, I think. And they will just pooch it down there, and got a good hop. They keep it in play.
They got it.
I think they did. Oh, no. They say it was out and in the end zone, and that was so close.
Oh, I thought they had it at the 1.
Regardless.
Like right there.
Oh, man, it could have flipped the field. Now we're playing on.
What did he do?
Oh, he rolled into the end zone.
The ball's there. Why would you do that?
Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
So it moves the football out to the 20-yard line. But it still flipped the field a little bit.
Yeah, but when you're on the 1, there's
no excuse.
Yeah,
that's a teachable moment.
Let's call it that. Good move.
Seiler, the quarterback's going to throw near side, and he gets it out in space, and a good effort right there to gain a couple, not a lot, but just a few, and Troy's moving the football, and that's Josh Mayfield. Mayfield is the backup quarterback, and he's also a wide receiver.
Well, you can see the athlete. He is 6 foot 179, sophomore.
Very versatile. And that'll do it. We played one tight football game, no score. Both teams have had opportunities, and especially the Trojans who moved it all the way down to the red zone, missed a field goal. No score after 1 here at Troy.
Sunday mornings, take an in-depth look at your community. In Focus with Mike Kallmeyer, a half-hour show dedicated to the important issues, driven to bring decision makers together and committed to elevating discussion and debate. Your community, your state, your show. In Focus with Mike Kallmeyer, Sunday mornings at 10:30 on Spectrum News 1, exclusively on Spectrum.
Weather in Ohio is changing all the time.
We get winter one day and 60s the next.
At Spectrum News 1, our goal is refreshingly simple.
We bring you an accurate, reliable, and local forecast every 10 minutes.
We have an incredible, experienced team of people.
We don't just know about the weather, we know about Ohio.
You never have to wait for your forecast with your Weather on the Ones.
Weather on the Ones, every 10 minutes, exclusively on Spectrum. Spectrum News 1, a new kind of news channel dedicated to refreshing storytelling and empowering communities across the Buckeye State. With your local forecast every 10 minutes and all of the essential news you need 24/7. Plus, in-depth shows and exclusives focused on your community. Always Ohio, always refreshing, always on. We are Spectrum News 1, exclusively on Spectrum.
Just starting the fourth quarter, and a quick
Personal
pass
foul. Illegal
out
helmet contact on
to
the
the
defense.
flat, and
15-yard penalty.
a flag on the play, and you just heard that personal foul will move it 15 more yards.
Well, what a great throw by Braden Seiler. Josh Mayfield, another catch.
I don't think Seiler missed in the first quarter. He has been super hot. So that penalty moves the football out to the 48-yard line. And he'll throw again. He's going to go deep, near sideline, and there is the first incomplete of the night. It goes to Nicholas Barr, the intended receiver.
So if you've been around me long enough, I always ask the question, why are you throwing deep on the short side of the field? There's just not much room.
Yeah,
there's just, I mean, it's easy coverage. Now, maybe you got a mismatch, but
no, you had single coverage with Braden.
Nick Barr's 6 foot. It's not like he's 6'3" or 6'4", so I always question that.
I give him credit for taking a shot.
Well, take the shot to the wide side.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, I agree.
Or go vertical up the seam.
He's looking, got to bounce it outside, and now he's just going to have to run out of bounds. That's good coverage by the Indians. Good coverage.
Keegan Coon's the one that's going to knock him out of bounds. And good job of the no throw right here. He bounces it outside. Good job not making the play worse than it already is.
McKeegan Coon, 6'2", 214, a senior, and leads the team in tackles. Odd front this time. Third down, call it 10 from the 48. Again, they look to the sideline and they move Walters to the right side, and out of the gun is Seiler, and they'll hand it up the middle, and it's a big hole, and Walters has a first down and more all the way to the 37. Gain of 11.
Well, Piqua blitzed the linebacker, and he went opposite A-gap and missed. They took a chance, hit him with the quick one up the middle. Look at the hole. Great job of the blocks up front.
15-yard pickup. Biggest gain of this drive. Walters once again, and this time the Indians are all over him. A loss back to the 38.
Oh my. Lance Reeves Hicks. Boy, you talk about coming off. We talked about his quick feet, right? But he saw that again.
This guy's playing good football. He had 6 tackles against Tippecanoe last week in a huge win, by the way, for Piqua. They, with a win tonight, could tie Troy for the league divisional championship. Here's Seiler trying to get to the 30-yard line and just slid his body inside the 30. But, I mean, if Piqua wins this ball game, a lot of scenarios go in their favor.
Yeah, well, and I just see there's a confidence right now. This defense, they're giving up some yards, but they're making it really difficult on Troy so far.
Seiler to Walters, and Walters isn't going to go past the line of scrimmage. A stone wall at the line of scrimmage. And Jarrell Lewis leading the way, and he leads the MVL in sacks, and he's part of that tackle for loss a play ago, and now it's 4th down with a good play there.
Well, they're getting penetration. Lance Reeves Hicks has had penetration. Hudson Hall has. Jarrell Lewis has.
Well, look at his numbers. 9.5 sacks, and he's going to come out of the ballgame. 4th down play coming up. And we get a timeout. So Piqua, I believe, is going to call time here, but the official.
I wonder if Coach Neese wants to let Lewis rest a little bit and then put him back in for the next play for 4th down.
This could be calculated, I'm not sure, but Bill Neese. Stop the clock for some unknown reason.
There is no charge timeout to Piqua. The player
Fuel
had
up with
blood.
chocolate milk.
And he
Chocolate
could
milk
not
is the official beverage of the OHSAA. So here we go, 4th down. 4th and 3 from the 30 and out of the gun. Seiler looks to the sideline. The same setup in the backfield with Fuentes, the tight end, as the blocker, and they will give it to Walters. Walters trying to get through that line, and I don't think he got it. Not at all. Reeves Hicks had him
99.
He had a big bear hug on Walters and pushed him back, and Piqua has another stop.
I'm going to say he pulled him back, but he got his paws on him. 99, right? He's got him. He's like, you're not going anywhere. I got you. And then a host of other guys, McKeegan Kuhn there as well. What a stop.
We've had 2 big defensive plays in this football game by the Piqua defense. These guys love to play in this football game. The seniors of Troy have never lost to Piqua. 3 straight games. Split backs this time, the quarterback. And they'll hand off inside, and that quick trap on the right side works again, and it's Kemp, the sophomore. This Indians offense, 4 seniors, 7 juniors starting, and Kemp, obviously a sophomore, playing a lot.
Well, that's one of those, just a dive play that didn't look like there was much there, but enough of a seam, and he picked up 4.
He moved it out to the 32-yard line. And once again, Troy crowds the box, and a whistle.
Oh, wow.
Motion on the play.
Legal procedure on the offense, number 88. 5-yard penalty remains 2nd down.
Boy, is Troy fortunate because they had a play on right there. That play had a big hole beginning to open.
Move it back out to the 27-yard line. Defensively, Troy gives up 255 a game. That's like mid-pack. So they'll throw it. They'll run it in the middle. Good fake that time, but it didn't fake out anybody from Troy. Dawson Hildebrand in on the stop.
I think they faked you and me out.
Yep, Coleman had the football all along.
That was a trap, but you saw the quarterback action. That's what attracted everybody's attention, but all for naught.
They're down, ball at the 26-yard line.
This is not the ideal down distance for this offense. Don't expect a pass.
They don't throw it much, and they won't this time either, but that is Kemp coming from right to left, a little counter play, but not enough for the 1st down, and it will be Austin Burns coming out on the field to kick it away.
Well, they're going to come back to this play. This is the play they were running when they had the penalty. Without the penalty, they would have had a 1st down. They picked up 6 right there, so that's a good play for them. You will see that again.
So 4th down. And it's end over end and picked up. Coming near sideline and not much running room at all before it's dropped, and that is Tucker Risquet, the senior, who stands 6'2", 177. Both of these teams have a nucleus of seniors, but they're predominantly underclassmen.
Yeah, there's some youth here for sure.
So 7:01 left to play here in the first half. Still no score. And it has been played close to the vest. From the 43-yard line of Troy. And this is Seiler again. He got swallowed up inside. Ball got loose, but it's...
He ran into Reeves, Hicks, and Lewis at the same time. I mean, there was a collision. Oh, and Caleb Lyons there as well. I mean, those guys didn't budge. That's a strong defensive line. We talked about the size of that Troy offensive line. Let me tell you something. They're going up against a very solid defensive line.
Those guys go 252, 286, 288, and Hall's 197, and he's already had a big play in this ball game.
286 and 288 get off blocks quick too.
Trying to take it outside is Walters. Walters gets the corner. He's got a first down and more. Kemp's after him, and he knocks him out of bounds at the 30-yard line. It'll be closer to it'll be right at the 29, so just inside the 30.
But kind of on cue, like, you know, we're talking about how difficult it is to run inside. What do? They go outside, get a big pickup. Excellent block there by Fuentes. 82, 5'10", 230-pound senior to set up Walters.
28 yards on the pickup, and it's first down for Troy. This is the third time they've been deep in Piqua territory, and they're going to Walters again, and he gets to the linebackers, and that's just about it. And once again, Caleb Lyons, the sophomore, is in on the stop. Second down.
Going to be interesting to see if Troy can get points here, because this Piqua defense has given up yards, and boy, they have stiffened up every single drive so far.
Region 7 has been a tough out. I mean, Toledo Central Catholic and Anthony Wayne are the two top teams, but then you got these two schools from the MVL both in action, and they're going to throw it this side. Walters got a block outside, and he will be close to a first down, but I don't think he got it. He's still fighting for it, and look at him stay on his feet, and he gets that first down. But there's a flag on the play. We'll see what happens with the flag, but what an effort.
I thought he was down.
I did too. I thought he was short, and he just kept those feet pounding. We've heard a lot from Joe.
We have aiding a runner on the offense.
Oh.
5-yard penalty.
Oh.
Remains second down.
The Bush rule.
We have not seen that this year.
Wow.
So they moved that football back. It was a first down, and it's outside the 20 to the 22.
So it looks like right here he's down. So let's see where's the aiding. Oh.
Think of this. USC Trojans can do it, but the Troy Trojans can't.
That's the flashback I had. You know, stole one from Notre Dame.
Yep. 5:13 left in the half. Still second down. And Seiler gets maybe a yard. Braden Seiler has just been an amazing running back and quarterback this year. He's completed 55% of his throws, 10 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions. And then he's run it coming in for 852 more yards, 5 yards every time he touches it, and he's had 9 touchdowns on the ground. Big play here, third down. Walters.
Hudson Hall got him right away.
Yep, Hall was there at the 20, and he did not get enough forward lean to get the first down. It's going to be fourth down once again.
50 top of the screen, sheds the block right away, and gets down there. That's a heck of a play. He came right off of Zach Ray's block, dove to the feet, and then he got help.
what is it about rivalries? They always are won and lost in the trenches.
That's the truth. That's just it, right?
And I mean, it is a pride game, that bragging rights. And here we are here at the end of this first half with 3:56 left and a 4th down and less than a yard for Troy. Seiler out of the gun. He's going to take it himself. He's got a first down and more inside the 5, and first and goal, Troy.
Getting a penetration to the left-hand side, but he ran to the right and ran hard. He's 203, runs like he's 225.
Garrett Shrub with the tackle, and Seiler again trying to get into the end zone. He's in! Touchdown, Trojans! First score of the game, and we have a flag on the play. It was after Seiler got into the end zone. It was a 4-yard run, and let's see if it stands. Comes at 3:31.
Nobody's moving out there, so it looks like it's going to stand.
Yeah. More than likely a celebration play. Let's get the official word.
After the touchdown, dead ball, personal foul on the offense, number 77. 15-yard penalty on the extra point.
Dawson Hildebrand, the guilty party.
They're going to march this off at the
15
on the extra point.
That's right, and that makes this no guarantee. Right at the very end, you saw a little scuffle.
So Seiler with a 4-yard run, his 10th touchdown of the year, and this is going to be moved back to NFL distance, maybe even a little longer.
And Seiler's missed the field goal already, and last year this game came down an extra point, which was converted.
10th touchdown of the season for Braden Seiler. Senior making his 2nd consecutive start in this game, 2 years in a row, junior and as a senior.
He's probably thinking, can I just throw it through the uprights?
Maybe you go for 2, and the officials are huddling about this.
Well, Troy's got a lot of time to think about it.
So the ball is marked, what, at the 18?
I guess my question would be, why would it not be on the kickoff, and why is it on the extra point? And that's what is being discussed with Coach Neese right now.
And both coaches are getting an explanation. Dan Gress.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've seen this applied on next point.
So this is going to be a 35-yard extra point. Whoa. High snap. Good kick. It's away and good. He got it. How about that? 7-0 Troy on a terrific play, and they finally finished a drive.
They did. And they finished that 4th down pickup was the key. Not only they picked up the first down, but they got it inside the 5-yard line with the Seiler run, and he did finish it off.
Check this. That was a very nice hold.
If you watch, to me, it's always about watching the kicker. You'll know. They'll tell you. He's turned around high-fiving the holder. He made it.
Weston Smith put that ball down. And remember, we're on grass. This is not turf. I can't remember the last time I called a game on grass.
Good point.
I mean, it's been a while, and this is a beautiful facility, that's for sure. Brand new track, they told me, and they've just had a great facility. And Piqua's got one too. We are always there for state tournament play.
Yes, a wonderful field. But what a great setting here in Troy. This is beautiful. I mean, this is I can't believe it's been this long that never done a game here until tonight.
I know, me too. I mean, this has been a bucket list for me. Seiler's going to kick off, leading 7-0 in this game. Clock at 3:31 left here in the first half.
Detroit's really dominated. They've played this game on their side of the field. We'll see if Piqua can respond offensively.
And it is on the ground, and
that's a heck of a play by Garrett Shrub to swallow that ball. That saved maybe 20 yards of field position.
While the weather in Ohio may be unpredictable, that's for sure, you can always count on weather on the ones. Latest forecast is always less than 10 minutes away on Spectrum News 1. Just think about it, yesterday and today.
I'm glad we're playing tonight, not last night.
Oh,
I mean, it's chilly tonight, but
no,
I could do without that wind.
Yeah, the wind was ferocious last night. I was doing basketball. I was inside. Thank goodness. All right, here's Piqua now from the 31-yard line after Lewis covered that ball. And Karan Coleman tried to take it off the right side, and nothing doing.
It looked like it was a holder. I'm not sure if he slipped.
Evan Jones covered him. Number 1 tackler on this Trojan team. It's 72. He's also had a couple of forced fumbles and a couple of recoveries this year, and only a sophomore. Wayne Oles got the play from the sideline, and it'll be second down and 9. Split backs again, and this time they will pitch it. Coleman gets the edge, has a first down and more, and it'll be out to about the 44-yard line.
Well, he got a great block again by Jarrell Lewis, 6'2", 252. I'll tell you what, he has been a factor on both sides of the ball. He exploded one of the defensive backs for Troy to open up the lane.
First down from the 45-yard line. Piqua needs a good, solid drive here. Winding down this first half, trailing 7-0 in midfield. Ball right smack dab at the 45-yard line, and somebody's not happy. And it's the offensive coordinator for Piqua, and Bill Nees, the head coach, has called timeout. So they will take a timeout with 2:44 to go, trailing by a touchdown. Played this rivalry close to the vest. Last play, taking it outside. They've had some success.
Great block there. Lewis took on Evan Jones, leading tackler, and exploded him, which opened up the seam to the outside. But boy, you hate to waste the time out there on personnel, or there was some confusion on getting lined up.
Well, they had twins on the near sideline, side by side, and I haven't seen that formation yet.
No, and it's again, they don't really have a hurry up mode, so that timeout is going to be critical here if they continue to move the football.
Bill Nees tells some of the folks that he's got 65 sons out there. That's how he coaches. All right, first down from the 45, and they're going to throw it. Oh, far side, and it's incomplete. Tried to hit Garrett Shrubs on the sideline, and Garrett Shrub, the junior, had to go right through his hands. Second down.
Well, as a coach, I mean, you really can't get frustrated with mistakes like that. It's a physical mistake. I mean, he obviously tried to catch the ball, but well executed, just didn't catch it.
For the season, the Indians throw it at about 41%. Wayne Oles has got 325 yards through the air, but they are a running team. Twins to the far side, that's the short side of the field, and they'll go to Kemp. He's got a hole, but it closes quickly, and Evan Jones is the guy that puts him on the turf. Going to be about, we got a flag on the play, and
well, I'll tell you what, Evan Jones came up and made a play, made up for that.
Dead ball, personal foul on the defense, number 52. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Adam DeCervo is 52, the junior.
A heck of a play by Evans.
Oh, took him on right away. A lot of emotion in this game.
Got some help with from Lucas Henderson. See if we can catch this after the 52's on the ground at this point. Let's see when he gets up. There it is. There it is. Giving him the business.
moves the football down to the 37-yard line, and they'll go dive again. And in the middle of that line, there's not a lot of running room, and hasn't had a lot of running room all night long, and that is Kuhn. Keegan Kuhn with his first carry of the game.
A little shout out to our camera crew for picking that up on that last play. Those guys doing a great job. Those are hard to catch, but they found it. Good job, guys.
Second down, just to gain a 2 on the last play. Out of the gun this time. And they'll run the option near
he's got the corner.
Kemp. And he's outside the numbers and out of bounds at the 28-yard line.
Wes Smith, the corner, bit to the inside, and there was a lane. Blew the contain, but good job picking up there by Lucas Henderson. That's what you do defensively. One guy makes a mistake, you got to cover him.
Tanner Kemp with his 38 carries, 236 yards, and 4 touchdowns coming into this ball game.
But again, they get a pickup on a first down. They stop the clock.
Got the ball out of bounds, and they'll reset the play clock. We haven't had any issues with that, though, all night long. Down to the 27-yard line. Under center this time, and that is in the middle of the line, and that is Jarrell Lewis, the 252-pound thrasher in there.
I'd be giving him the ball.
He just pounds away, doesn't he?
I mean, look at the yards after contact. It takes 3 or 4 guys to bring him down. It gets 4. The heck of a drive they got going. First time.
Jacob Hepner was one of the blockers, and he was right in the thick of it. Second down. He gained 5 on the play.
Oh, my.
Flag on the play.
That's coming back.
Boy, we have had way too many hankies for a 10th
procedure on the offense. Number 97. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
And they were going to throw the ball there. He was going to a pass set right at 97 right there, flinches. He's going backwards, which means pass.
He was a pass pro, and
you can't call that play again.
Nope.
And you could see the reaction on the sideline. Like, really? Come on.
Moves it back outside the chains, and it's second down and 11. They're going to throw it far side. It's caught over there, and a good effort. Making the catch is Dylan Cheney. Down to 57 seconds.
I think they're burning the timeout.
And they will stop the clock with 56 seconds left. And it is a 3rd down and, well, I would say about 8.
Where Rasque and Seiler came up and just blew him up.
Coming up at the half, Curtis Jackson, Andrew Kozak have all the latest headlines and weather from the Spectrum News 1 studio. And we'll also recognize this week's OHSAA Scholar athletes. And of course, we'll take a look at halftime highlights at first half. And so far, it's been a defensive battle. It's all coming up during the halftime report. Well, 7-0 is the score, and you would think that Piqua was going to have something planned here with 56 seconds left.
Yeah, it's a big play here, 3rd and 7.
But it probably is 2-down territory.
Well, you could have called 2. And here's the thing: is you can still run the football here.
Right. And the other thing is that Piqua's got a timeout left.
Well, here's this formation they were showing earlier. They were trying to get lined up, and this is an odd formation.
Well, you got Lewis out there and also Shrub on the near side.
And they're all off the ball. Three in a row off the ball, like a trips look to the wide side. So is it a decoy, or are they going to run this way? That's the question.
And they're unbalanced this way as well. Out of the gun. Oh, takes the snap.
Got a man, if he can get it.
Throws it incomplete, but there was high pressure. Jones in there. Also, he had immediate help from Austin Good, who put the pressure on first.
Yeah, great pressure by the right side of the defense. Garrett Shrub was open, but not a chance to get rid of the football because of the penetration. Austin Good.
Young man has had a good senior season, 3.5 sacks and 70 tackles. All right, 4th down. 50 seconds left to go here in the first half. High snap. Ooh, goes far side, incomplete.
Ooh, will there be a flag? Or is there one already?
And Jarrell Lewis was the intended receiver. Risque was out there in single coverage, and we'll see if that's on him.
Yeah, there's no doubt. There was contact.
So on 4th down, that's a
Pass
major
interference
mistake.
On the defense, number 2. Penalty will be half the distance to goal. First down.
Far side.
Oh, yeah, all over him.
Tackled him. So 1st down, 45 seconds left to go. Twins to the far side of the field, or I should say the near side of the field. Oh, with pressure, and he throws to Lewis, and he stopped at the 20, behind the line of scrimmage.
Austin Johnson blew the screen up.
Middle linebacker. 35 seconds left. They're going to have to take the timeout.
And Lewis he couldn't tell that he probably should have not caught this. Hang on to the ball, drop it. Good job of ooh, they're taking the hit.
J.J. McCoy came in and leveled him. Troy sent the blitzer.
Which normally, if they're blitzing, that's a good time to call a screen, but somebody stayed home.
Austin Johnson did a good job from that middle linebacker position. He was spying all the way on Jarrell Lewis on one-on-one coverage. Piqua has a 2nd down and 15 now. They can get a 1st down before they can get into the end zone, but here's the deal. They got to get to the 3-yard line for a 1st down. So if it's a screen game, there's something in Bill Nee's playbook that they're going to try, that is for sure. They know what they want to do. 2nd down for the Indians, but more importantly, just 35 seconds left to go. Here's the high snap. They're going to throw it near sideline, and it is incomplete. And that was Brady Uhl, the freshman, the brother of Blaine, who made that throw and took that snap. So the freshman just unloads. And guess who the intended receiver was?
To his brother.
It was his
brother. That's where he goes, right?
Yeah.
Well, Blaine is 6'3", so he's got a height advantage. So, you know, from a coaching standpoint, I don't mind that throw, but give him a chance to catch it. If he's got a height advantage, throw it high, let him get it.
Brady has completed 9 out of 18 on the season.
He's back in there.
And he's back at quarterback.
They like to split up Blaine. I think
they only got 3 seconds on the clock. Oh, they just got it off. And is going to throw it away with 22 seconds left. And
nobody in the vicinity either.
That's a flag. It's a loss of down coming up.
Intentional grounding on the offense, number 7.
But again, this is just an experience. He tries to avoid the pressure, and he knows he's got to get rid of it, but there's just nobody in the vicinity.
Evan Jones, the blitzing linebacker. So they'll move it back to the 33-yard line, and it's 4th down. Once again, they need to get the ball to the 3 for a 1st down. So Brady Uhl comes back in. The freshman more than likely will be the quarterback, and his brother Blaine will be one of the wide receivers on this play, and he is lined up on the right side. Here's the snap. Firing towards the end zone.
Got him!
Oh,
got
it! And it's a touchdown!
Cheney! Dylan Cheney!
Dylan Cheney leaped and scored. Fourth down, 33 yards for a 1st down. And not only get the first down, they get a touchdown.
I haven't seen that one before.
7-6, and the freshman throws his second touchdown of the season.
I'm still trying to process that one.
Jackson Tremblay will be the kicker, and he is also a freshman. The extra point is good, and we are tied with 14 seconds left. A 33-yard touchdown.
I like the fact he looks left and goes to the right. Seiler's there and misplays it.
Oh,
Flat out misplayed it.
He
was
came
there.
inside, had his eyes on that football all the way for the score.
What a good job by Dylan Cheney to go up and catch the football in traffic.
Piqua, last year, it was in the fourth quarter with the stunner by Troy. This year, it's Piqua at the end of the first half.
Incredible.
So Brady Ewell, who's a freshman, making his mark in this series right away.
Well, you made up for the loss of down, that's for sure.
That is no doubt about that. So
I love the play call. I mean, you take a shot, you throw the ball to one of your athletes. He looked away from his brother, so he decoyed him, and they threw to the right, and it was enough to really throw Braden Seiler off, because Seiler got there, but he didn't his head turn around.
So they'll kick this one on the ground, and they'll cover with the clock, which should have started but didn't. So I'll see here. That is Navin Couch who covered that ball for Troy. Oh my goodness. How about Cheney? Well, you always throw out the record books in these games and you just play the game. You play football, and if it's just a little throw it to the end zone, it's like playing in the backyard,
And it just happened to be 4th and 33.
Yeah. Just happened to be. Now, I wouldn't draw it up that way, but they've got to reset this clock. It never started. It was 14 seconds when the touchdown occurred. I've been involved in a lot of rivalry games, and sometimes the clock is an issue.
Yes.
It has been an issue, but 1 second's off the clock, and that's fair. And here we go. From the 36-yard line, they'll give it to Walters. He finds a little hole, and he's going to get a first down. So they're going to stop the clock, and he stays on his feet, and we'll see. They finally blow the whistle after a 12-yard pickup, and there's 2 seconds left.
We have a timeout for Troy.
Troy's going to call timeout.
Please set the game clock to 3 seconds.
They'll move the clock back to 3 seconds. Kevin Walters is a hard runner. He's as hard of a runner as Seiler.
I think, though, he was probably trying to get on the ground and stop the clock, and the defense was holding him up.
Right, good point. I'd like to see more than 3 seconds left. Braden Seiler hit his first field goal of the season tonight. I'm sorry, extra point. That was an extra point, but it felt like a field goal.
It did feel like a field goal.
It was 35
it
yards.
Looked like a field
35-yard distance. So what I'm saying, he's got a leg.
Yes.
So, but I don't know if you got 3 seconds to get the ball out of bounds.
This is one play. What do you do with one play here? I mean, to me, I like to get the ball to an athlete in space. You don't have to necessarily throw it downfield. Let's get it to one of our athletes. Could be within 5 or 10, 15 yards, and let him go make a play.
Well, Walters is that special athlete, and he's out wide to the left.
To the right. Interesting. And one-on-one to the left. We'll see.
And that's Walters at the top of your screen. They'll look to the right side. He's going to throw it deep near sideline, and it's intercepted. Intercepted and out of bounds. We got a flag. It's Braden Strayer.
And that flag came early.
And we'll see.
Piqua's running to the locker room.
Yeah, those guys want to get in as quickly as possible, and
everybody's leaving.
Hold on, folks. It could be offsetting because it looked as if he was motioning pass interference, but we'll see.
The Indians are running the locker room. They're like, we don't care.
It's cold out here.
Both teams are off the field.
We have illegal formation on the offense. 6 men on the line of scrimmage. That penalty be declined. Halftime.
And there we go. All right, so just one penalty, and we have hit the break. Both teams have scored here in the second quarter, and it's just as we expected. This 135th meeting between Troy and Piqua is all tied up at 7 apiece. We'll be back after the news, and we return with a...
So this is Ziva, and she goes everywhere with me. Like her, I have this innate sense of curiosity. I really like meeting new people. I love to explore, and right now I'm trying to travel to every national park across the country. Every morning, that same curiosity is what drives me as a journalist.
Spectrum News 1, I'm Sophia Constantine.
It really fuels the type of stories that we do. It defines us as Ohioans, and it's why I'm so excited to call this place home.
Weather and the sky has always fascinated me, and I live with what I do. I come home, look at the weather forecast, and it's really a part of my life. It's not just a job, it is my passion.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Eric Elwell.
We have a very experienced weather team, and we know what's important to Ohioans as they make their plans every day because we are part of the community. I'm Eric Elwell, Chief Meteorologist, Spectrum News 1.
Sunday mornings, take an in-depth look at your community. In Focus with Mike Kallmeyer, a half-hour show dedicated to the important issues, driven to bring decision makers together and committed to elevating discussion and debate. Your community, your state, your show. In Focus with Mike Kallmeyer, Sunday mornings at 10:30 on Spectrum News 1, exclusively on Spectrum. Spectrum News 1, a new kind of news channel dedicated to refreshing storytelling and empowering communities across the Buckeye State. With your local forecast every 10 minutes and all of the essential news you need 24/7. Plus, in-depth shows and exclusives focused on your community. Always Ohio, always refreshing, always on. We are Spectrum News 1, exclusively on Spectrum.
Every morning, the people of Ohio have the opportunity to wake up and start fresh.
We want to be a different kind of news channel, putting storytelling and community first.
Well, it's really humbling to be invited to our neighbors' homes and help them plan their day.
Welcome to your morning news. I'm Sophia Constantine.
Let's take a look at your weather on the ones. We've got a large band of precipitation.
Your morning news, weekday mornings on Spectrum News 1.
About 2 years ago, I took a break from TV news, and it changed my life. Prior to that time, I've always been a good father, but I rarely got the chance to be a good dad. It gave me a chance to think about the things that not only matter to me, but to everybody. It also gave me a better perspective on news. I spent a number of years in Cleveland and Cincinnati, and it's given me an opportunity to see every corner of the state. I want to empower our communities and redefine what a news channel can be.
Good evening, I'm Chuck Ringwald. It's halftime for the Troy and Piqua game, and we'll get back to the action in just a few minutes. But for now, let's get you caught up on the latest stories we're following. Just one day after Halloween and a warning for parents. Check your kids' trick-or-treat candy. Razor blades were found in chocolate handed out in Colerain Township outside of Cincinnati. According to police, sharp objects were pressed into the chocolates. One woman needed stitches after cutting herself on the candy. Colerain police posted on social media that they are going to try and collect DNA from the objects while determining whether the reports are genuine. While some experts believe the U.S. economy is slowing, investors can breathe a sigh of relief. Employers added 128,000 jobs in October. That's according to the Labor Department. The unemployment rate, however, rose slightly from 3.5 to 3.6%. The U.S. lost 36,000 manufacturing jobs last month, mostly because of the GM strike. But economists say now that the strike is over, the jobs should bounce back this month. U.S. stocks also opened at all-time highs Friday after the release of the positive jobs report. As daylight saving time ends and clocks fall back an hour this weekend, you may enjoy that extra hour of sleep in the morning, but it could cause adverse reactions to your health. Here's what you should know, and it's not all bad. Gaining or losing an hour will likely affect your sleep pattern, but experts say it should only last for about a week. According to a 2014 study by the University of Colorado, when Americans give back an hour of sleep, the risk of heart attack decreases by 21%. Another study, however, found the risk of having a stroke increases by 8% when we set our clocks ahead or behind. Experts also warn to be more cautious when driving or walking, especially early in the morning or late at night after the change. A winter wake-up call this Friday night. For more, let's go to our meteorologist Andrew Kozak with your Weather on the Ones forecast.
Hey there, on this Friday evening, I'm Andrew Kozak with your Weather on the Ones halftime weather right here on Spectrum News 1. Be sure to join me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and on Snapchat at Andrew Kozak TV. Let's talk about your highs on Friday. A lot colder than Thursday. As the cold front came in for Halloween, we really saw a game changer when it came to those temperatures. Low and mid 40s pretty much would just do it for us for Friday. Now for Saturday, and as we head into your weekend, we'll have another disturbance, a front coming through that won't really push our temperatures down, but it'll give us increasing clouds late Saturday, maybe a couple of sprinkles, maybe a few flurries and snow showers along the lake Saturday and Sunday, but areas in central and southern Ohio should just get away with a couple of sprinkles and showers. Here's your 7-day forecast for the Cincinnati area. Will be 48 degrees on Saturday. Again, a couple of sprinkles out there. Sunday and Monday, milder and sunny. Then next week, we start off mild, but the cooler air returns as we head into Thursday with a couple of showers. More to come tonight after 11 o'clock.
And that's your latest headlines and weather. We'll take it back to High School Blitz right after the break.
Weather in Ohio is changing all the time.
We get winter one day and 60s the next.
At Spectrum News 1, our goal is refreshingly simple.
We bring you an accurate, reliable, and local forecast every 10 minutes.
We have an incredible, experienced team of people.
We don't just know about the weather, we know about Ohio.
You never have to wait for your forecast with your Weather on the Ones.
Weather on the Ones, every 10 minutes, exclusively on Spectrum. Sunday mornings, take an in-depth look at your community. In Focus with Mike Kallmeyer, a half-hour show dedicated to the important issues, driven to bring decision makers together, and committed to elevating discussion and debate. Your community, your state, your show. In Focus with Mike Kallmeyer, Sunday mornings at 10:30 on Spectrum News 1, exclusively on Spectrum.
Maybe I'll run for president, maybe I won't, but I will tell you that I'm not going to go away.
And I don't think Michigan can become the Michigan of old.
We're probably the first professional sports team in the world that was built by the fans.
We're the biggest ice cream shipper in the nation, setting the standard for American ice cream.
I get to live my dream. I mean, what more could I ask for?
Conversations, Sunday and Tuesday night at 9 on Spectrum News 1, exclusively on Spectrum.
It doesn't feel like a job to me. Journalism is my passion. I started out as an actress and singer, which isn't the typical way to get into broadcasting. Whether it's journalism, singing, acting, writing, it's all about storytelling. I guess I fell in love with news because it's the real story of us. It's the real story of community. I'm Mary Lee Melendez, anchor reporter, Spectrum News 1.
Spectrum News 1, a new kind of news channel dedicated to refreshing storytelling and empowering communities across the Buckeye State. With your local forecast every 10 minutes and all of the essential news you need 24/7. Plus, in-depth shows and exclusives focused on your community. Always Ohio, always refreshing, always on. We are Spectrum News 1, exclusively on Spectrum.
About 2 years ago, I took a break from TV news, and it changed my life. Prior to that time, I've always been a good father, but I rarely got the chance to be a good dad. It gave me a chance to think about the things that not only matter to me, but to everybody. It also gave me a better perspective on news. I spent a number of years in Cleveland and Cincinnati, and it's given me an opportunity to see every corner of the state. I want to empower our communities and redefine what a news channel can be.
And we're at the half here at Troy Memorial Stadium. 7-7 is our halftime score. Time now for the OHSAA and Spectrum News 1 Scholar Athlete Award. And here to present is Steve Huffman, State Senator from the 5th District.
Hello, I'm State Senator Steve Huffman. I'm here with Elijah Williams and Laura Borchers, presenting them the scholarship from Spectrum News 1. I think it's great that high school sports is what's great about Ohio. First, in the classroom, they compete, they're scholars, they're at the top of their class, and then they compete in sports here. And it builds character, it builds teamwork, and many things that I learned in high school sports. Leadership, teamwork, working together. I also think that this really brings the community together. Earlier this week there was a blood drive between the two towns, first with the students on Monday and then between both communities on Wednesday and Thursday. They're only about 8 miles apart. So this is the 135th time that they have competed on the football field. It's a great rivalry. I wanted to congratulate both of these student athletes, and I will emphasize student because I really believe that's very important. And I wish them the best in their endeavors after high school, as their seniors are going to be moving on. So I want to congratulate them, thank Spectrum News 1, and it's going to be a great game tonight.
It's all about community, that is for sure. Thank you, Senator. And when we come back, we will have halftime highlights and also statistics. 135th meeting between the Indians and Trojans, knotted up at 7 at the break.
So this is Ziva, and she goes everywhere with me. Like her, I have this innate sense of curiosity. I really like meeting new people. I love to explore, and right now I'm trying to travel to every national park across the country. Every morning, that same curiosity is what drives me as a journalist.
Spectrum News 1, I'm Sophia Constantine.
It really fuels the type of stories that we do. It defines us as Ohioans, and it's why I'm so excited to call this place home.
Sunday mornings, take an in-depth look at your community. In Focus with Mike Kallmeyer, a half-hour show dedicated to the important issues, driven to bring decision makers together, and committed to elevating discussion and debate. Your community, your state, your show. In Focus with Mike Kallmeyer, Sunday mornings at 10:30 on Spectrum News 1, exclusively on Spectrum.
Weather in Ohio is changing all the time.
We get winter one day and 60s the next.
At Spectrum News 1, our goal is refreshingly simple.
We bring you an accurate, reliable, and local forecast every 10 minutes.
We have an incredible, experienced team of people.
We don't just know about the weather, we know about Ohio.
You never have to wait for your forecast with your Weather on the Ones.
Weather on the Ones, every 10 minutes, exclusively on Spectrum. Spectrum News 1, a new kind of news channel dedicated to refreshing storytelling and empowering communities across the Buckeye State. With your local forecast every 10 minutes and all of the essential news you need 24/7. Plus, in-depth shows and exclusives focused on your community. Always Ohio, always refreshing, always on. We are Spectrum News 1, exclusively on Spectrum.
Maybe I'll run for president, maybe I won't, but I will tell you that I'm not going to go away.
And I don't think Michigan can become the Michigan of old.
We're probably the first professional sports team in the world that was built by the fans.
We're the biggest ice cream shipper in the nation, setting the standard for American ice cream.
I get to live my dream. I mean, what more could I ask for?
Conversations, Sunday and Tuesday night at 9 on Spectrum News 1, exclusively on Spectrum.
Weather and the sky has always fascinated me, and I live with what I do. I come home, look at the weather forecast, and it's really a part of my life. It's not just a job, it is my passion.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Rick Delwell.
We have a very experienced weather team, and we know what's important to Ohioans as they make their plans every day because we are part of the community. I'm Eric Elwell, Chief Meteorologist, Spectrum News 1.
OHSAA Game of the Week, powered by Elk and Elk. 7-7 is where it's at. Halftime score in Piqua and Troy. This is the most played rivalry in the state of Ohio. 135th meeting between these two schools, and it has been a good one so far and a lot of defense. Let's take a look at the first half highlights. And man, I'll tell you what, the Piqua defense came strong in the first half, especially the men in the middle.
That defensive line, Lance Reed picks, makes a big play there, does it again here. 99 was all over the place. In that first half, that defensive line did a great job keeping Troy out of the end zone because Troy was moving the football.
And then the Trojans got outside. They took the edge with Kevin Walters on this play.
Yeah, they mixed it up a little bit. They kept running inside, but they bounced this one outside. Did Walters, and that set him up. On a fourth down play, Braden Seiler picks up a big first down and then some. And he follows it up with a touchdown. Drives into the end zone. And he added a 35-yard extra point, which is key.
Now, this is a big play in this end of the first half. It was pass interference at the 15-yard line.
Keep the drive alive. And then 4th and 30.
And it goes for a 33-yard touchdown. Dylan Cheney, eyes on the ball, and a tying touchdown.
And Brady came off the bench. The freshman came off the bench to make that throw.
Yes, and that is the brother of the starting quarterback. So here you go. First half stats, just about as close as the scoreboard. 102 yards for Troy. Piqua 152 yards, rushing that is. Your passing yardage, just enough to keep them honest. And 184 yards of total offense for Piqua. A little surprising because I thought Troy really dominated the first quarter at least at 157 yards. 12 penalties in this first half.
That's the one surprising thing. But the stats are relatively equal. And again, I think you're right. Troy controlled field position early, but that Piqua defense kept them in it. And that's the key in the first half.
Well, and they did last year as well. And Bill Nees, before the game, reminded his linemen, especially his defensive linemen, we controlled the line of scrimmage last year. We need to control the line of scrimmage this year. And so far through two quarters, they've held their own.
They really have. And that defensive line is very impressive. And I'll tell you what, they have momentum. You score on 4th and 30 before halftime. That's momentum going into halftime.
All right. We are here at Troy Memorial, and what a beautiful setting. A good crowd on hand on a chilly night, and we are tied at 7-7. The two teams in the Miami Valley League, a reborn league this year. Both of these teams played in the GWAC American Northern Division last year and years before that, but the GWAC shrunk. They took a few teams from this side of Dayton, the north side of Dayton, and eliminated them, and then also the south side as well. And the next thing you know, the MVL is back, and both of these teams are getting ready for a tight type second half here to decide maybe the divisional title. And we'll come back, and the third quarter is on the way. 7-7 is your halftime score. Indians and Trojans, 2 quarters to go.
About 2 years ago, I took a break from TV news, and it changed my life. Prior to that time, I've always been a good father, but I rarely got the chance to be a good dad. It gave me a chance to think about the things that not only matter to me, but to everybody. It also gave me a better perspective on news. I spent a number of years in Cleveland and Cincinnati, and it's given me an opportunity to see every corner of the state. I want to empower our communities and redefine what a news channel can be.
Every morning, the people of Ohio have the opportunity to wake up and start fresh.
We want to be a different kind of news channel, putting storytelling and community first.
Well, it's really humbling to be invited to our neighbors' homes and help them plan their day.
Welcome
your morning news. I'm Sophia Constantine.
Let's take a look at your weather on the ones. We've got a large band of precipitation.
Your morning news, weekday mornings on Spectrum News 1. Spectrum News 1, a new kind of news channel dedicated to refreshing storytelling and empowering communities across the Buckeye State. With your local forecast every 10 minutes and all of the essential news you need 24/7. Plus, in-depth shows and exclusives focused on your community. Always Ohio, always refreshing, always on. We are Spectrum News 1, exclusively on Spectrum.
Weather and the sky has always fascinated me, and I live with what I do. I come home, look at the weather forecast, and it's really a part of my life. It's not just a job, it is my passion.
I'm Chief Meteorologist here, Rick Delwell.
We have a very experienced weather team, and we know what's important to Ohioans as they make their plans every day because we are part of the community. I'm Eric Elwell, Chief Meteorologist, Spectrum News 1.
Maybe I'll run for president, maybe I won't, but I will tell you that I'm not going to go away.
And I don't think Michigan can become the Michigan of old.
We're probably the first professional sports team in the world that was built by the fans.
We're the biggest ice cream shipper in the nation, setting the standard for American ice cream.
I get to live my dream. I mean, what more could I ask for?
Conversations, Sunday and Tuesday night at 9 on Spectrum News 1, exclusively on Spectrum.
It doesn't feel like a job to me. Journalism is my passion. I started out as an actress and singer, which isn't the typical way to get into broadcasting. Whether it's journalism, singing, acting, writing, it's all about storytelling. I guess I fell in love with news because it's the real story of us. It's the real story of community. I'm Mary Lee Melendez, anchor reporter, Spectrum News 1.
Sweetheart, think about your future. Jeff over there didn't just look at him. He saved up, bought a house, he's got a beautiful wife. They even had a fancy pants destination wedding, and they had a baby! Ah! Smart and handsome, ooh la la. Now, I've been saving these frames for pictures of my future grandbabies for years. And the shopping sprees on organic clothing and telephone cases is not helping you save for a family. Oh, gracious! Look at that! He's a model! I bet you he's putting all that money right into a 401k or his baby's college fund. And his teeth are so straight. See how good saving can look at feedthepig.org. Feed the pig.
The OHSAA Game of the Week on Spectrum News 1 is brought to you by Elk & Elk, serious lawyers for serious injuries. 2 quarters to go here in this great rivalry here at Troy. As you look at the MVL standings, 6-1 are the Trojans. Piqua tied for second. They win, they get a share of the MVL Miami division. Troy, with a win tonight, probably hosts next week. I mean, that's what we've been told that by some of the experts or so-called experts. So they're 7-2. They lost to Xenia, and then they got shellacked by Turpin, and they're in Region 8. Greenville's had a really nice year, and Tippecanoe has fought hard all season long. And 3-6, Butler rounding out the MVL. That's the new MVL. So this Piqua team scored right at the end of the half, but Troy deferred, and they wanted the football to start the second half, and they will get the football here as they will be on offense first. Dan Gress and his Troy Trojans need a win to host next week in the first round of the playoffs.
And certainly by beating Piqua, they're going to gain some points with Piqua sitting at 8 right now in the region. Either way, you got one half of football remaining to make the playoffs. Both teams know that they have that opportunity.
Skay and Walters back deep, and Trombley will kick off here to start the second half, and he will kick it to the near sideline. Picking it up at the 12-yard line, and coming to the near side is Evan Jones. So Evan Jones brings that ball back out to about the 27-yard line, and that's where Troy will put it in play. First down and 10.
It's always about the halftime adjustments. Troy moved the football very well in that first quarter. Not so much in the second. That Piqua defense really, that D-line especially, held their ground.
So they come out in an empty backfield, but Fuentes, the tight end, out in front of Seiler, who will take it in the middle out to about the 31-yard line, and a gain of 4 on the play.
Karan Coleman coming up and making a play. This is purely a run formation. They're trying to spread the field. They're going to run the quarterback. Going to follow Fuentes up in there.
Gap blocking is what they're doing up front. No zone blocking, just gap blocking up front.
When you got a quarterback that's 6'1", 203, you spread them out, and you make that defense dictate who they're going to cover. And if they cover the receivers, you run the quarterback.
Weston Smith is in the slot on the left side. He's got 2 others with him, and they'll fire it out that way. It's incomplete, as Smith was the intended receiver, but the Indians were all over it.
Well, there was nobody reacted to that, but that ball to me looked like it might have been backwards. Let's see the replay here.
He's at the 25-yard line, 27. Look where he threw it.
I mean, I can't believe, especially on the defense, nobody jumped on that. They called it a forward pass, incomplete.
Played about a minute here in the
That gives me flashbacks, by the way. There's scar tissue there, just let me tell you. I've seen that return for a touchdown.
Seiler to throw, near side. He's got his man, and it's a first down at the 42-yard line.
Nick Barr, who started the game off with the first catch.
Yes, and in that first half, it was a Seiler show. He completed all but a couple.
So remember when I said earlier, don't throw it deep on the short side. Throw this. Throw the comebacks or throw the hitches on the short side, especially when the corner's off. Do that all day long.
First down play. And
99.
he is going to have to just get rid of the football, and in the grasp, right there was Reeves Hicks all over Seiler, and he just threw it away.
Boy, just again coming off the block and showing some quickness getting to Seiler, because Seiler can move. Good job finding the open receiver. Nick Barr was open, so he did a good job throwing it away.
Terrell Lewis was right there on top of him as well.
I'll tell you what, this is one of the better defensive lines I've seen this year. I mean, this is
any division, and we've seen a lot of football. We're out every week.
We have seen some very good teams.
I mean, I saw that LaSalle game last week, and Winton Woods had some talent. By the way, LaSalle beating Elder at the half. Here is Seiler off the left side. He's got running room. He's at the 40, at the 30, turns it on 20, 15, 10, 5, dives in the end zone, lost control of the football, but he broke the plane touchdown.
Just when we talk about how good that defensive line is, and that O-line steps up and makes the plays, makes the blocks, hat on a hat.
58 yards for the score. What an effort down, and just got into the end zone. Seiler's second score of the night, give him 11 on the ground for the season. .58 yards, the score is good. There was a penalty on the play, and it was against Piqua. So Seiler, who has had a big time night, taking a few deep breaths right here before he attempts this extra point.
Because it's important.
That is for sure. Broke the tie.
13-7, and here's Seiler for an opportunity to make it a full one-score game. High snap, kick away, and the kick is good. So Seiler doing it all, 14-7 with 10:41 to play here in the third. What an effort by this young man.
And this is a great job. Look at the blocking up front. Jacob Moorman, excellent block, coming from left-hand side. 6 foot, 320-pound junior, and created that big hole. There's the extension to the end zone. He got it across the plane. That play happened up front. That's called halftime adjustments right there. They got a hat on a hat. We talked about that stellar defensive line, but the O-line got it done right there and created a seam for Seiler, and he took the rest of the way.
Well, Seiler's going to go back out and kick this thing off. I mean, he is the field goal kicker. He kicks extra points, and they're going to kick this from the 45-yard line of Piqua because of the penalty on that touchdown run. So they'll mark it at the 45 of the Indians. Troy just broke that 7-7 halftime score. Halftime was knotted up because Piqua scored with 14 seconds left in that first half. Seiler's got a big leg. He could probably kick this thing through the end zone, and he's going to. So with 10:41 left to go here in the third, it's 14-7 Troy. Mercy Health is the official healthcare provider of the OHSAA. Go to mercy.com for more information and locations. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Piqua. They will get the ball on their own 20-yard line.
And Braden Seiler, I'm not sure he's missed a play this entire game.
He's been on both sides of the ball and special teams. Split backs, and they run it up the middle, and there's very little running room, but that's the offense. That is what Piqua wants. They will get 2, they'll get 3 on that quick dive or a slant, maybe a little counter. Everything's between the tackles.
It is, and then I think what we saw in that last drive in the first half is you pass the 50 and you can throw it a little bit more. They showed that they can throw the football. They were fairly effective, obviously with the touchdown.
And they changed quarterbacks to do that. Lanel's in there. He's the older of the two brothers, and they'll quick pitch it to the near sideline, and not much running room at all. There's an adjustment defensively to take that away as Tanner Kemp.
Well, this play is made by Evan Jones. Watch, he's going to force it back inside, and here comes the red shirts.
Seiler's there, and he had Fuentes and a few others.
That's a great job by Evan Jones. Only a sophomore, 6 foot 202.
He has got quite an instinct for the ball and just playing his position. I like what I've seen out of the sophomore.
Yeah, he's got a motor. You can see that.
Oh, yeah. Twins to the far sideline. One receiver to the near. 3rd down play. 3rd and 9 out of the gun. Here's trying to get away. Fires. Comeback route. And it was close. But it is incomplete.
Chaney was open over the middle, but he just couldn't quite set the feet to make the throw. Or, excuse me, it was Keegan Patton.
Well, Lucas Henderson was right there on the defensive coverage.
Good recognition to find the open receiver, but just couldn't set his feet to make a good throw.
This is your classic battle of field position. There's so many storylines in this game, in addition to, down and distance. High snap. Got it away, but not his best effort. And it will stop right at midfield as Austin Burns got about maybe 2/3 of that football. Well, now you can take Spectrum News 1 with you anywhere you go. Download the Spectrum News app on your favorite devices and also tablets, and watch 24/7. First down, midfield. Troy's had really good field position here in the third quarter, and they've made field position, that is for sure. Here's Walters getting through, and he's on the march down to the 36-yard line. 14-yard pickup and a first down.
And I'm seeing a hat on a hat again. This is halftime adjustments. These guys doing a great job. Again, Jacob Mormon, 2 blocks there.
320-pound junior guard making a big play. 8:55 is what's on the clock, and it is stopped at the moment. Troy with the play from the sideline, and they'll go twins to the far side. Reed out there in one of the slots, and Fuentes in the backfield. This is Seiler off the left side, and he gains across the 30 and down to the 28-yard line. Gain 8.
They're getting a push right now. Ethan Freed this time in the pool. That's the right guard, 6'3", 18, junior. Kicks out the D end. That offensive line, you could tell at halftime, they got settled down, made some adjustments. They're getting it done right now.
We're talking a D2 school with some 300-pounders, and they can play a little bit. Here is Kevin Walters, and he is going to be wrestled to the turf. Garrett Shrub on the tackle, but not before he got a first down.
But the push, when you look at the left-hand side of the offensive line, they're 5-6 yards downfield. Now, the play didn't gain that much, but it did get a first down, but you can see the push.
Yeah, they're driving off the ball right now.
It's a different look than we saw in the first half.
1st and 10 from the 25. Clock running under 8 minutes. Seiler gets the play from the sideline. And he'll take it right up the middle, bounce off a tackler, and he'll gain inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line.
Well, they get big chunks now. It's 7, it's 8, it's 6. This is QB run all the way.
He ran into his own guy.
And he bounced it outside. He saw the hole. He saw the opening, to the outside. Did a good job with his vision to bounce it.
That was 7 on that particular play, out of the gun this time. And he's gone empty again. So he's put Walters on the short side of the field in the slot. He's over there with Staniford. And they will go Seiler up the middle. And Seiler is down inside the 10. And he'll have a first and goal at the 9-yard line. A gain of 9 again.
Another wrinkle we'll see is bringing Walters in motion. You can see the up-tempo look here. They're bringing Walters in motion to freeze those linebackers.
Seiler again up the middle, and this time the Indians are not going to have it. A stone wall right at the 8.
Caleb Lyons and McKeegan Coon in there. Good job by Lyons spinning out of a block. But McKeegan Coon came up and filled the gap.
Have you seen a quarterback run as hard as Seiler has this year?
What I see is defensive players head snaps. Their head snap when he runs into him.
That's Walters staying on his feet. Touchdown. Kevin Walters from 8 yards out, and that's a score for Troy. That is a big time play by Kevin Walters. Watch his feet. Gets through that line and sign of a good back.
Little jump cut there. Kept his balance. There was a lot of want-to get in the end zone.
7 plays and 50 yards, and it came on a short punt, not a long punt that we have seen out of Austin Burns, but it was just a little bit, it wasn't quite as good as he's had tonight. And boy, Troy just jumped all over that field position.
Great field position again, but the offensive line has been the difference in 2 drives so far. 2 scoring touchdowns to start the third quarter. That's the statement you want to make in a game like this.
Well, Troy has been a good football team all season long. I mean, they have won 7 out of 9. And the one thing that I've noticed is here in the second half, they look like a 7-2 team. In the first half, they were taking some punches from Piqua. And here in the second half, they've been delivering, especially that offensive line.
When you go up 2 scores in a game like this against a team that doesn't really throw it very much, that is a commanding lead. Ethan Freed is the injured Trojan.
Well, stay connected by following us on Twitter and Facebook at Spectrum News 1OH, and of course at our website, SpectrumNews1.com. So we're going to get the extra point now. And we'll check out Braden Seiler, who is going to kick yet another extra point here, trying to make it 21-7 with 6:18 to go here in the third. Here's the spot, the kick, and he came across it, but he got it through. And with 6:18 left to go here in this third quarter, it's 21-7 Troy. And Kevin Walters with a big, big night. He was the leading rusher in the first half, and he had that big run here for the touchdown off the left side.
Great vision, great balance. And he wanted to find the end zone, and he did.
So Walters scores his 12th touchdown on the ground this season, and he is adding to his 1,000-yard rushing total. Here's a young man that went back-to-back 213 yards against Stebbins and then 216 yards against Sydney. How about that back-to-back weeks?
That's saying something. You go 200 yards once in high school, that's pretty good.
And he was back-to-back and has had a fantastic senior season. So here's Seiler's had a real workout tonight. Love of the game, that is for sure. And he'll boot it deep this time, and it's picked up at the 4-yard line. Take it to the far side, and it's out to the 30, to the 35-yard line across the way. And we got some emotions running high over there. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Piqua. And this offense has got some work to do. We had a personal foul charged against Troy, and that'll move the ball out 15 more yards. That's up to midfield. So not only do you get a good return,
yeah, just
it was right there on the sideline and
right at the end of the play.
Yeah, and Tanner Kemp had a really good return. And now they're in business at the midfield mark. That's a high snap. Went, got it, and he gets popped big time.
Lucas Anderson.
After 5 yards.
Well, it looked like it was going to be more. Good catch.
Well, he had to go get it, didn't he? Oh, nice. Textbook.
That's coming downhill from your safety position. 6 foot, 160-pound junior, but he hit like 200 pounds.
Second down play coming up. Moved inside Piqua territory. And another high snap, and this time it's again, and he goes for about a yard, and that's it. Good effort over there on the far side.
Colby Harris, that play looked like it had a chance to go. Yeah, 84 comes off the block. That's a heck of a play by Colby Harris, 6 foot, 258 senior. That play looked like it was going to go for a first down, and Harris just shedded the block.
Yeah, he did a very, very good job of making sure that was not going to get any more yards. And here they'll try the pitch this time, and this time it's Lewis for the first down, and Moore down to the 35-yard line. He had a head of steam.
A heck of a play. J.J. McCoy's going to lay the wood right here on Olin. Excellent pitch. He's got Lewis running downhill. He's going to get the first down.
That's been successful most of the night.
They've had
when
success
they've
with it,
gone to that short side.
Yep.
They have had success, and Jerron Lewis with a big carry. He had 3 touchdown runs last week against Tippecanoe and 64 yards on 10 carries. So he's had a nice couple of weeks here to end the season, the regular season. Piqua looking for a chance at more. High snap. Boy, he had to go get it this time, and here comes the cavalry.
Well, led by Dawson Hildebrand. It starts with the high snap. There was a hole too. Wow, they're gonna. This is one of those plays when you watch on film tomorrow, and you're Piqua, and you're gonna throw up because you got a big hole and you had a bad snap that threw the rhythm of the play off.
Ewell had a chance right there, but that bad snap cost them all their.
Tim, that's twice tonight.
Yeah.
One on a bad snap and one on motion. They had a counter trace set up, and it was set up. And again, the guard pulled this one. Logan McClellan was up in the hole. You had a seam, but quarterback didn't get there.
All the way back to the 41-yard line. It's 2nd down and 16. Twins to the near sideline. They'll go split backs.
Get out, JJ!
And a bad snap. That time it's on the ground, and there's a big pile up for it, and it is a Trojan ball, I think. Let's see if they
Austin
pile
Johnson's
up.
at the bottom of the pile.
Yeah, he's got it, and it's Trojan football. Fumble recovery by Austin Johnson.
Well, again, it's a snap. You got. Quarterback center exchange.
That's a big play right there because Piqua had a drive established. They had taken it from the 50-yard line. It seemed like they were getting the ball down the field.
Well, any momentum that Piqua had at the end of the first half is long gone, the way this third quarter started.
With 3:13 left here in the quarter. And here's Braden Seiler again. Out of the gun. He's going to give it to Walters. Picking his way, left side, up to midfield. Kevin Walters is a workhorse. Bottom of that stack is 97, Caleb Lyons for Piqua. Bill Nees is just smiling. He's got 2 more years with that young man. To see him develop, wow. 6'4", 288. 2nd down. Clock ticking at the 2.5-minute mark. Out of the gun, Walters again, and he's not going to get back to the line of scrimmage.
On cue, there's your guy, 97.
How about
Caleb
that?
Lyons.
Lyons right there, filled that gap nicely. Oh, he beat the block.
Boy, and Lance Reeves Hicks, again, he beat his block. He was there to help as well. He almost beat the ball to the handoff.
21-7, Troy. Piqua's done a nice job when the Trojans try to run between the tackles. Play clock down to 11 seconds. Out of the gun. Here's Seiler, still on his feet. Got the first down into Indian territory at the 43.
Well, if you're Piqua and Garrett Shrub is making the tackle, that's a problem. That's your free safety coming up to make the tackle. It means you're getting past all the front 7.
Minute 45 left here in this quarter, and there's a discussion right now between the referee and Troy coach Dan Greaves. Bob Giuliano.
If you can read lips.
Is there chirping going on? Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, you got a rivalry game, of course.
Always.
It's called keep your composure, keep your mouth shut, just play.
That message was delivered by the referee, and And to be honest about it, he just went over and talked to Bill Nees as well across the way. He's had enough.
You're going to have the high emotions, but, you know, these are two teams that are well coached, been here before.
Got a lot of experience, especially in key spots like the quarterback. And here is Walters coming to the near sideline, bounces off a tackler, and he is going to get stood up at the 40. Gain of 3. Indians came in waves that time.
Coleman was the first one there. Didn't make the play, but he slowed him up enough. But, man, Keegan Kuhn was there and a host of others. I'll tell you, I like this defense. They've given up a few scores here in the third quarter, but they are an aggressive defense. And they got some playmakers.
They've got some youngsters over on that sideline. I mean, you got an even front and only one senior, and that's Hudson Hall. And, you know, your two big guys in the middle, Tanner Kemp and Damian Lawson, are both sophomores.
You got 4 sophomores on the field. I mean, that's a lot.
Nice throw that time. They came near sideline again. A.J. Huker, the senior, making the catch.
Yeah, just making the play fakes, throwing short side. That's just the outside linebacker cannot get underneath of that.
Clock down to 42 seconds here in the third. Huker set up on the near sideline this time by himself. The Twins are to the far side on first down. Seiler going to come this way, looking for Huker. End zone, incomplete. Good battle. Excellent throw, and Braden Strayer was right there.
Give credit to Braden Strayer, 5'9", 131. He's going to go up and defend this, and does a great job coming in right when the ball's there. That's excellent defense.
I like
he was
that.
giving up some inches. Huker's 6'4", so he's giving up about 6 inches there.
You teach this game weekly. That is about as textbook as you can
That's pretty good, especially he was beat to the inside. He kept outside leverage.
And he got his head around.
Yep.
He knew where the football was.
Yep.
Out of the gun. A little bit of a hole. Seiler leans forward to the 20.
Well, again, your free safety Shrub making the tackle.
20 seconds left. They'll move the chains. And it's a first down for Troy, and they have dominated the back half of the third quarter here, leading 21-7. They've had good field position, and they've delivered on the ground, and they've made enough throws to keep them honest, and that'll do it. 3 quarters in the books in this 135th meeting between Piqua and Troy. The battle on the Miami. With 15 minutes left. Troy with a 2-touchdown lead.
Sunday mornings, take an in-depth look at your community. In Focus with Mike Kallmeyer, a half-hour show dedicated to the important issues, driven to bring decision makers together and committed to elevating discussion and debate. Your community, your state, your show. In Focus with Mike Kallmeyer, Sunday mornings at 10:30 on Spectrum News 1, exclusively on Spectrum. Spectrum News 1, a new kind of news channel dedicated to refreshing storytelling and empowering communities across the Buckeye State. With your local forecast every 10 minutes and all of the essential news you need 24/7. Plus, in-depth shows and exclusives focused on your community. Always Ohio, always refreshing, always on. We are Spectrum News 1, exclusively on Spectrum.
Weather and the sky has always fascinated me, and I live with what I do. I come home, look at the weather forecast, and it's really a part of my life. It's not just a job, it's my passion.
Chief Meteorologist here, Rick Delwell.
We have a very experienced weather team, and we know what's important to Ohioans as they make their plans every day because we are part of the community. I'm Eric Elwell, Chief Meteorologist, Spectrum News 1.
1 quarter to go, and Bill Nees and those Piqua Indians are down 21-7. Just amazing to have a Hall of Fame coach on the sidelines. 27 years.
200 wins.
And 200 wins. Got that last week.
200. 200.
Troy on the march as they have a first down. And the first play of the fourth quarter goes to Walters. And he is stacked up right at the 21. He falls forward to the 20. But that's not going to cut it. Second down, no gain.
You know, another guy I want to mention is Damian Lawson, number 26. 5'11", 167, the sophomore, playing an outside linebacker. I mean, at 167, sophomore, and he's physical.
Out of the gun, looking to throw. Seiler near sideline, and he's got his man. It's a touchdown.
That's not going to count.
And
that's Staniford.
And I think there might be a push-off on
that's a
Austin Staniford.
That's a not-so-subtle offensive interference.
Offensive pass interference on the offense, number 1.
Taking the points off. Taking the points off the board.
When the hands get extended, well, look, he's got his shirt. Threw him down. I mean, that's a good call. That's a great call. It was an easy one because he grabbed his jersey and tossed him to the ground.
It's not very often you see an offensive pass interference, but that was blatant. Takes it back to the 35.
And that adds another stat to my throwing to fade on the short side. Low percentage. Coaches, if you're watching this, you're probably not watching this right now. You might watch the replay.
Right. So they take it back to the 35-yard line, and it's 1st and 25 as Seiler goes back to throw, fires, and it is intercepted by Meyer. That's his second of the game. Taking it from the goal line, and he's out to the 25-yard line. Aiden Meyer, the sophomore, with the pick.
Well, they're going for the throw, and I have to question why, but it's a heck of a play by Aiden Meyer. Great coverage again. That's the guy they picked on to play before. They went after him 2 plays in a row, and he makes a pick, and that keeps him in the ball game.
If that's a touchdown, it's awfully tough to come back.
Well, right, but it's not. And as an analyst, I got to say, why are you throwing the ball?
It's right.
And when you can run it, and you've been running, I don't understand.
So as they take it, and this time it is incomplete. Will tried to throw it near sideline, trying to hit Dylan Cheney, and that was incomplete. Actually, that was Brady. Caleb Lyons was out there in coverage, and he is a tight end in certain situations. And I think he might have been the guy that he tried to throw the ball to.
It might have been a little trick play there. He put him in as an eligible receiver.
Yeah, and he has played tackle, but he also is listed as the backup tight end. Here's the freshman, has to just eat it to the 25-yard line. So the interception of Aiden Meyer stopped the drive, and now it's 3rd down for Piqua. 3rd and 10 from the 25. So will it be Brady or Blaine at quarterback? It's going to be Brady, the freshman. He's got Lewis in the backfield with him, and they're going to throw near sideline, and it is going to be picked up. Intercepted by Raske. Intercepted as Blaine Uhl fell down, and it will be a pick.
I like the call, and he throws it high to his brother, but Blaine slips and falls. He had a height advantage. I mean, that's actually a well-thrown ball, but Raske gets the pick. Fortunate off the Blaine falling down.
He had a lot of zip on that football, but it is an interception, and Troy gets it back. Last possession, Piqua intercepted in the end zone, and here is Seiler, and he is corralled as he reaches the 43.
Reeves Hicks again off the block. I mean, just camping out in that backfield.
Yeah, that defensive line's playing a whale of a ball
6'1", 286. There'll be some teams looking at him because he is not blockable.
Set up in the gun again. Walters the tailback, and they'll throw near sideline. It's caught, and he stays in bounds, and now he's finally driven out of bounds, and that is Austin Staniford, the senior. And again, they go short side.
Well, I like that he's wise to try to stay in bounds. Like he is doing everything he can to stay in bounds and keep the clock running.
Another first down. Ball's going to be marked at the 33-yard line. These two schools less than 10 miles apart. Right on the Great Miami River. Here is Seiler off the left side, and he's got a head of steam down to the 20-yard line. 13 yards for Seiler, and Braden Seiler running with just as much authority here in the fourth quarter as he did in the first.
Well, you got a great block by Tito Fuentes, number 82, to steal linebacker. Gave Seiler a big hole.
A lot upside in that young man. First down from the 19, and it is Walters who will get stacked up right about the 13-yard line. Gain of 7 that time.
I'm going to give some more love to Tito Fuentes because he got another good block there. 82. He doesn't really catch the ball very much, but he's more of a blocking H-back. 5'10", 230-pound senior in the backfield all the time. Doesn't get a lot of attention, but boy, does he do his job taking on linebackers and defensive linemen.
Wyatt Dobbins, a sophomore, made the tackle on the play. They put Walters in motion, and here comes Seiler up the left side. Flag on the play. He will spin into the end zone. Touchdown. Looked like there was a flag. I'm not sure, but that was a great play by Seiler to get into the end zone.
No flags.
No flags. There was something that was just flown through the screen, but it was not a flag, so it's a touchdown, and Troy has added to the total.
And again, Fuentes sealed a linebacker to open up the seam for Seiler. And Seiler, again, with great extra effort to get the ball in the end zone. Third time tonight.
And we've got a whistle, and the referee, Bob Giuliano, comes in and stops the clock and stops the play. How about Seiler as he just spun around to get into that end zone? I headed for 13 yards.
Raske's got to come in and hold. Takes his gloves off. This could be interesting. Depending on how many times he's repped this.
Good spot. Letter perfect.
Got it.
Absolutely. 28-7. Watch him at the goal line. He just has a nose for the end zone.
Look at the blocks. That's a hat on hat. Everybody did their job, and great second effort, third effort to get to the end zone by Seiler. Third touchdown tonight.
28 unanswered. It's Troy team locking it in. Playoff positioning, a big thing here. 4 straight trip to the playoffs for this Troy Trojan team, and a win tonight might be enough to have a home game next week. That 3 straight that they're banking on, the 4th straight, which is pretty much a lock, is program history for these guys.
That's impressive. There's no doubt. And what's impressive is the second half. This game was tied 7-7, and they have dominated the entire second half.
And the adjustments have just been let right on. Here's the kick. And again, it's short. Picked up at the 20-yard line. That's Damian Lawson.
But I think you got to remember, too, they're coming off a loss in week 9.
Well, keep your phone. Save your money with Spectrum Mobile. Go to spectrummobile.com for more information. So here we go. First down for Piqua, needing a drive with 8:37 to play. Stacking the box again, and it's a quick hitter on the left-hand side. Not much there at all as they give it to Coleman. He's been quiet tonight.
He really has.
I mean, last year he had 74 yards in this game on 21 carries. Second down coming up. But that doesn't take away from what Bill Nees has done with his club. 5-4 coming into tonight's game. All 5 of the wins have been conference wins. Going to pitch it this time, and very little running room. Maybe a couple up, and we get another flag. Coleman taking it around and really didn't have a whole lot there, but here's the flag.
Personal foul on the offense, number 6. 15-yard penalty, first down.
I think maybe it should be 7.5 for the flop. Let's see. Watch right at the end. Watch this. Come on.
Yeah.
He shoves him in the face mask. I get it, but you shouldn't go flying 5 yards.
No.
We've seen some good flops tonight.
We have.
And we're going to call them out. So, guys, you want to flop, it's going to get on. It's going to be on live TV.
That's right.
And there's a thing called social media. You're going to get seen.
Screenshot. Here's the handoff. That's Lewis taking it off the left side, and not a bad run, but the Indians need more than that with 7.5 to go. Trailing 28-7. They run hard, that's for sure, but they are a running team. And one of the things, it's just hard for them to come back.
Well, they're not really designed to.
Nope.
And, you know, and I'm not going to sit here and argue with Bill Nees, who's won 200 games, on how the style that he wants to play at. You know, it's they're designed to be in the game or get a lead and hang on to it.
And they're designed that their defense dominates, and they've tried, and they have tried tonight. That is for sure. Big time kick here, and a fair catch at the 40-yard line. So Risque makes that fair catch, and here come the Trojans on offense.
I'm going to say it again. I like this Piqua defense. I mean, they're young. I mean, you got 4 sophomores out there.
Yep.
And a host of juniors that are all going to be coming back next year.
Yeah, there's 9 guys that'll come back on that defense.
The only guy on the defensive line they're losing is Hudson Hall, but Lyons is back. Reeves Hicks is a junior. Lewis is a junior. I don't want to be an offensive line blocking that crew next year. You kidding me?
You know, this rivalry will be 136 next year, and as soon as this game is over with, the clock will start in the locker room at Piqua for next year's game.
Penalty, first down.
Another penalty. Boy, we've heard it was a face mask on that play. And so we're adding up, folks. I'm going to need a calculator when it's all over. Troy, 24 points a game, which is second in the MVL, and they're right there. They're over it, actually, tonight with 28, and we're still not quite finished. 6:53 to go as Walters takes it over the left side, and it's down inside the 40.
You can certainly see the Troy offensive line really taking over, starting to push a little bit, wearing down this defense. These 6-yard go for him, but he hits him.
Well, Walters is a good back. And Walters has scored at least 1 touchdown in each of the last 5 football games, including tonight. Out of the gun. Little shovel inside.
Little love to Fuentes.
Oh, how about
there
that?
There you go. That's called thank you for your blocking,
that
Tito.
Is Tito Fuentes
with a little shovel pass.
And look at him smile. Look at him smiling.
They called his number, the 5'10", 230-pound senior.
He's like, hey,
well done.
I can run a little bit too, guys. Look at him. I love it. You deserve it, Tito. You've done a great job tonight blocking.
Well done. Here's Walters again, stacked up, and not before he got inside the 20. That Piqua defense has been out there a bunch.
They have.
A lot of plays, but they have held it together. 5.5 to play here in the most played game in Ohio. Isn't that amazing? 135 of them. You know, sometimes they play twice a year. Here's inside handoff and into about the 14-yard line.
Terrell Lewis.
Now
he makes the play.
And Seiler again. Lewis has played both sides. Obviously, Seiler has played both sides of the football. Kemp.
Coleman.
Yeah, they got a lot of guys going both ways.
Shrubs going both ways tonight.
Yep. With a lot of snaps. Seiler again. Got a little room. Inside. All the way to the end zone. Touchdown. Seiler with the score. And this has been all Troy here in this second half. Watch how he just sliced it through the middle.
You see missed tackles now, too. And again, they're just wearing him down. And he runs hard. He's 6'1", 203, as I've said. He runs like he's 2 1/4.
4 touchdowns for Braden Seiler. And the last one comes at 4:43. And Troy, who has won 3 straight in this series, is working on a 4th. And that snap is right there, and Seiler kicks the extra point. 35-7 now. Braden Seiler, he scored 4 times on the ground, a 4-yard run, then a 58-yard run, a 13-yard run, and watch this one. A couple of tackles, they just goes right through, and he's saying, where's the official? I want to give him the football.
He ran through a host of about 5 white shirts. Nobody got him.
Now look at this second half. 28 points in the second half for Troy. It was a 7-7 game at the break. And it's been Braden Seiler.
You know, it's interesting, though, the first half, they controlled the ball, but they didn't have the points to show it.
They didn't finish.
No.
They didn't finish.
Well, they did the second half.
Oh.
I'd say the adjustments and just wearing them down, that worked out just fine for them. 28 unanswered the second half.
Yeah, they have just dominated this football game, and you know they came in as the 5th team in Region 7, and they hold on. They're going to be outright divisional champs in the MVL. Seiler again, and he's going to kick it to an up man. He's picked up at the 25-yard line, and Zane Boger takes it all the way back to about the 41 on special teams. $14 in the third and 14 here in this fourth quarter. And from the 41-yard line, Piqua will have it now, trying to put some points on the board. But the Indians are seeing what this Troy program has had in the last few years, and you know they won a close one last year. It was only 7-6, but this will be the 4th straight year that they have won in this ball game. Off the left side, Yule taking it 9 yards, up close to a first down.
That's Brady, and it's
Brady.
You know, again, talking about youth, you got a freshman now getting a lot of reps in at quarterback.
Yeah, and him and his brother
It's a junior,
Blaine,
right?
Yeah, Blaine's
Yep.
a junior. And honestly, Blaine could play wide receiver. I mean, there's options there if they want to go and let the freshman, and obviously next year he'll be a sophomore, and let him develop.
I think you're getting a taste of what you're going to see in 2020 with this team.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And they'll put Twins to the near sideline, right at midfield. And they'll try off the left side, and not much there. Going to be third down, short of the first down yardage. You can just see the wheels turning with Bill Nees. He's been at Piqua for 27 years. And they really do need, to win this football game to make the playoffs. So, and unfortunately, they only have 7 here into the fourth quarter. This is the 5th year in a row they've been in that position in this final game of the year against Troy. Take it off the left side and get the first down. Out to the 48, and Uhl again. That time it was Blaine. Region 8's pretty tough. You got these two teams, very strong. And Uhl's going to go to the sideline, and his brother Brady's going to be back in at quarterback. So Blaine on the sideline and Brady in with 2:47 and counting. And he'll throw far sideline, and it's trapped, and it's incomplete. Tried to get it to Keegan Payton over there. Patton, I'm sorry, the senior. Second down. Can't fault the effort, and that's what's great about high school football.
Not at all.
I mean, both of these teams, especially the Piqua defense, oh my goodness. It's not reflected on giving up 35 points.
No, not at all.
I mean, they've played hard. And Troy has just clicked here in the second half, especially their quarterback Siler. And here's Brady Uhl, and he's got running room midfield, middle of the field, I should say, down to the 25. First down.
You're looking at a freshman on the football against a varsity defense. I mean, that's a tall order. He's undersized, but he's showing some feet and some toughness.
That's for sure. He's hanging in there, and his brother Blaine's back in the ball game with the play. Remember the shuttle system? They used to have shuttle tackles. I bet Bill Nees used to do that. Shuttle the tackles. Twins near sideline. First down. Ball on the field. Picked up by Brady, and he's just going to have to get out of bounds. Lost a few. Back to about the 28 or 29. Good pursuit that time by the Troy defense. So the Troy Trojans are going to play on. They're going to win a divisional championship, the first in the reborn Miami Valley League. Ball back at the 27-yard line. 2 minutes and 2 seconds left. How about that for a first-year coach?
Give him a lot to smile about.
Brady Uhl takes it to the left side, and it's incomplete at the down to gain, and it's incomplete. Garrett Schrub, the intended receiver. Gress took over after Matt Burbacher left to become the head coach at his alma mater, Tippecanoe. And Gress, being the D-line coach and the special teams coach, then ascended up the ladder. And he was thrilled to be named the head coach of this football team, and he's done a good job in his first year. Under 2 minutes. Low snap again. Uhl being chased, and he is going to be brought down.
Evan Jones.
Guy's got some good wheels.
Yes, he does.
Sophomore coming all the way across the field to make that tackle. What a hit.
Well, there's some impressive sophomores on this field tonight. That is for sure on both sides of the ball. And he is He doesn't look like a sophomore. Let's start with that.
Yeah,
6 foot 202. He looks like an upperclassman.
You know, the amazing thing about it, this rivalry has got all these underclassmen playing in it this year. They're going to be around for 2 more years,
Yes.
some of them.
Yes.
And it's alive and well, that's for sure. And you know Piqua's going to be back. They got 4 in the package this time. Good snap. They're going to throw far side, and it's intercepted. At the goal line, Troy's going to get it back. And that is Weston Smith, and that is his 7th interception of the season. That leads the Miami Valley League. 7 interceptions for Weston Smith. That young man has had a year now.
That's pretty good from a corner position to have 7 interceptions.
Hey, that's 7.
5'9", 165 senior, and he's smiling.
So they're going to mark that ball at the 2-yard line. Actually, it's about at the 1. So minute 5 to go. And out of the end zone, it's going to be a safety. How about that? Jarrell Lewis coming all the way in, and he will tackle the ball carrier in the end zone, and Walters never got out of the end zone, and that's a safety. Beg your pardon, that was not Walters, that is Allie Crawford. Crawford got caught in the end zone. The coach isn't happy. So it came with a minute left. So it's 35-9. And they'll kick this away to Piqua. Would you say that Jarrell Lewis has left it all out there?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, look at.
Yes, I would.
Just look at that.
Well, you can see the personality of Bill Neeson, this team. I mean, it's clearly there's no quitting this team.
Yeah, they were right on top of it. That ball was at the 1-2 yard line, and they were coming. That was a rush blitz, and they caught the ball carrier, Crawford, in the end zone. So Seiler's out there, and he's either, I would think that he's going to boot this thing, and somebody gave him a tee. They were waiting on a tee. Now I think we're going to work it. Just 1 minute left. And Seiler scored 4 touchdowns tonight and had to venture on 1 extra point. It looked and felt like a field goal. But it'll go down as 1 point instead of 3.
He hit it dead center.
Oh, he did.
That was a big one at the time.
It's definitely a big one. And he'll boot this one short. And it'll be brought back at midfield. They'll take it to the left-hand side. Got a little bit of room. Down to the 30. And out of bounds across the way. And that is Garrett Shrub. And he will take that ball down inside the 20-yard line. Following the game, stick with us for High School Blitz as we wrap up the night in Ohio high school football. We'll check in with other games around the state, and we'll have post-game reaction from right here. It's all coming up on High School Blitz following the game. $50 seconds to play. And Piqua keeping the pressure on, and a timeout wanted by Troy. I don't know if Troy had the right personnel, or they're just going to get some of the back.
This is when you get substitute challenges when you're subbing.
Right.
It could be my only estimation for why he's calling a timeout here.
Yeah, it must be just the fact that he doesn't have the correct personnel or the right guys in the ball game. So speculation is a home game next week for these Troy Trojans. Right now they're 5th. They could move up one, but regardless, they're in the playoffs. And Region 2 is going to be a challenge. I mean, if LaSalle holds on in Region 8, beat Elder tonight, they're probably, well, maybe win Region 8. That'd be a heck of an accomplishment for that team.
The team that's the question mark there is Winton Woods, sitting at 8, because that might be the best 8 seed or wherever they end up in the state Division 2.
And former state champion as well.
Yeah.
And runner-up.
And beat LaSalle last week. To at least improve their chances of getting in. They arguably played the toughest schedule in the state of Ohio.
Right, and they in any division. And
yes.
In Ross,
yes,
Talawanda, there's a handful of teams in that region that are going to dictate if Winton Woods gets in or not. And then in Region 7, I mean, you got Central Catholic, you got Toledo St. John's is very good. Anthony Wayne
as well.
Yep. You got teams out of Columbus. It's all over the place. Here's Lewis taking it off the left side, still running, trying to get out of bounds with 3 seconds, 2 seconds left, and they're going to call it. That's the end of the football game. The 135th meeting between Troy and Piqua goes the Trojans' way with a final score of 35-9. The first as a head coach for the successful mentor Dan Grass of the Troy Trojans. Two schools only 10 miles apart in the same region in Division II, in the same league, and it's a divisional championship in the reborn Miami Valley League for the Troy Trojans. They took over the game in this second half for sure.
7-7 at halftime. They roll off 28 unanswered with the exception of the late safety, and really dominated the second half. So this is a team that's bouncing back from the loss last week and going to go into the playoffs very potentially with a home game next week with some momentum.
Tonight's final score, Troy 35, Piqua 9. Tune in next Friday for High School Blitz beginning live at 6:50 right here on Spectrum News 1, your television home for high school sports. For Greg Fry and our entire Spectrum News 1 crew, I'm Tim Bray. Good night from Troy Memorial Stadium in Troy, Ohio.
It doesn't feel like a job.